designed to inform, engage, and empower the black community. Available nationwide on more than 250 platforms and 2,000 devices.
All forms of media. That's true.
The Black Information Network is now on the air in cities nationwide, on your smart device, everywhere at BINnews.com and on the iHeartRadio app.
I'm Vanessa Tyler.
And I'm Mike Stevens.
On the Black Information Network.
The death of a loved one is a very sad thing, even under the best of circumstances. So my condolences to Mr. Floyd and the family. The second thing is I find it ironic that the Attorney General's office and the rest of the public officials who've been commenting publicly on this case and leaking sensitive information now want to keep the trial not open to the public.
The judge in the murder case for George Floyd says he will move the case out of Minneapolis if the lawyers in the case won't stop talking about it publicly. All 4 fired officers appeared in court. Derek Chauvin, the one charged with murder for keeping his knee on Floyd's neck and is in custody, appeared via video. Even with all the protests for change, Floyd's uncle, who was in the courtroom, worries about justice.
I know how the system works. I've seen the system my whole life. A black man getting slighted, shaded, for some reason or another. I don't want it to be like this. But when I walk in the courthouse and I see like 15 white people, I'm thinking, oh, hell, we're going through this again.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer cheering the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on abortion.
The Supreme Court struck down a Louisiana law that would have restricted abortion providers so severely that Louisiana would have been left with only a single clinic.
Chief Justice John Roberts ruled with the court's 4 Democratic appointees. Schumer said the High Court made the right decision once again, suggesting he has been pleasantly surprised lately. He noted other Supreme Court rulings on immigration and LGBTQ rights.
There is an uptick in crime in many large cities, and many in law enforcement are blaming police reform and the demands of protesters.
This is the kind of lawlessness we're starting to see now in New York City, and if it's not stopped, and it's not stopped soon, it's only going to get exponentially worse.
Meanwhile, those in the Black Lives Matter movement say those opposing change are using crime as an excuse.
There's a congressional hearing on how police handled peaceful demonstrations in Lafayette Square recently during the president's photo opportunity. Our police used rubber bullets and pepper balls to clear the area so the president could walk from the White House to St. John's Church and hold a Bible.
NASA is naming its headquarters in Washington, D.C. after Mary Jackson. She's the Hidden Figures engineer, one of the women the movie is based on. Remember, she started her career in the segregated West area of the computing unit at Langley. She was an integral part of getting American astronauts into space.
Students at Minneapolis University are competing for a new scholarship that bears the name of George Floyd. Getting the money will help them attend school, but there's also an emotional component. The caught-on-video death while in the custody of police shocked the nation. So now the scholarship will go toward the university's Act 6 program, which produces future urban leaders.
It passed the House, but it's doubtful the bill for D.C. to become the 51st state will pass in the Republican-controlled Senate. And the president indicated he definitely would not sign it. The 51st state would surely be blue Democrat with 2 senators and a representative. It's a fight D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton has been battling for years. The governor would be the current mayor, Muriel Bowser. I'm Vanessa Tyler, along with Mike Stevens on the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On Detroit's BIN 1130.
We have cleared out all of our earlier accidents and incidents, but some added road work today on I-75, 75 southbound at 14 Mile Road. In that already existing zone, they have the right lane closed until 3 o'clock, so plan on those added delays. And we have our construction work on the Southfield Freeway, north and southbound at Michigan Avenue. Single lane closures are scheduled in that area until early November. Right now it's moving pretty well, but after 3 o'clock, plan on slowdowns along that stretch. And Gratiot Avenue, southbound at Randolph Street. Construction work in that area. Watch for lane closures between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., and that's ongoing through Thursday afternoon, daily through Thursday afternoon. And we have fair and sunny skies today with a high of 87 degrees, mostly clear overnight with a low of 68. Currently, we're at 82 beautiful degrees in Detroit. And with Detroit traffic and weather, I'm Lorna Stevens on the Black Information Network.
The news never stops.
Depend on the Black Information Network.
Detroit's BIN 1130.
This is the Black Information Network. I'm Mike Stevens.
And I'm Vanessa Tyler.
One of the three men convicted of murdering 4 little black girls in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, back in 1963 has died. Thomas Edwin Blanton Jr. died of natural causes while serving a life sentence for the murders of Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, and Carol Denise McNair. Blanton, who was a former member of the Ku Klux Klan, spent 38 years as a free man after taking part in the murder of the girls and was only convicted in 2001 after a lengthy crusade by then U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, Doug Jones.
A study by the New York Times has discovered at least 70 people who died said the phrase, "I can't breathe," while in police custody over the last decade. More than half of the 70 were black, ranging in age from 19 to 65. And the paper found the majority of the people had been stopped or held for non-violent infractions. There were the 911 calls about suspicious behavior or calls about the person's mental health. Whatever the reason for the call, it ended badly with a confrontation with police. And the investigation looked into how they died, restrained by the neck, hogtied, tased, or their head covered with mesh hoods to prevent spitting. And most frequently, the report says, officers pushed them face down and held them there with the officer's body weight. The paper says its investigation found many police believe the person saying, "I can't breathe," is either lying or exaggerating.
Dueling protests have been going on over the statue of President Teddy Roosevelt outside of the Museum of Natural History in New York City. One group is chanting to save Teddy and to save their history, but counter-protesters say the statue must come down because it glorifies colonialism and racism. Museum officials decided they are going to remove it after they say they were moved by the recent racial justice demonstration. The statue shows Roosevelt on a horse flanked by an African-American man and a Native American.
Those working for Amazon expect a big bonus. The employees who hung in there during the pandemic will be rewarded. $500 for full-time hourly employees, $150 for contract delivery workers, could be up to $3,000 for owners of small delivery companies set up to drive for Amazon. As the pandemic surged, so did ordering online and the demand for delivery.
Scholars are debating on the best way to handle the word black when speaking about race. Should it start with a capital B, like when referring to African American, or should it be like a small letter B, like they would use when talking about black and white people? The push by African American scholars is gaining momentum to start black with a capital B when it's being used in a race-related manner. By the way, the term African American was made famous by Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm Mike Stevens, along with Vanessa Tyler on the Black Information Network.
At this moment in history,
They have to isolate for 2 weeks.
At this moment in time,
you will hear it first on the Black Information Network.
these are historic times.
I want justice for my brother, my big brother.
Keep up with the latest news affecting your life.
And to everybody that know me, I'm all the way in.
Black news all day, every day.
Detroit's BIN 1130. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The network more people rely on gives you more. Like unlimited plans for your family to mix, match, and save. Now everyone gets what they need without paying for what they don't. Verizon Unlimited plans start at just $35 per line per month, with 4 lines for customers who choose the Start Unlimited plan and autopay. So switch today and find the plan that's right for you. That's Verizon. Unlimited 4G LTE. Times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Only after 25 gigabytes per month on Play More Unlimited, 50 gigabytes per month on Do More Unlimited, and 75 gigabytes per month on Get More Unlimited. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds, plus taxes and fees, autopay and paper-free billing required.
This is the BIN Tech Report. Want to support black-owned restaurants? Eat Okra. Eat Okra is a free dining app that makes it easy to discover and dine with black-owned restaurants and food trucks. Using GPS, the app allows you to search for restaurants nearby, or you can search by entering the city you're interested in. App's features include links to menus, hours, and contact information, reviews from other diners, and is connected to Android and iOS. This is Keon Williams on the Black Information Network.
I'm Big Sue on the Black Information Network. Provident Hospital and Training School for Nurses, the first black-owned and operated interracial hospital in America, was founded in 1891 by Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. Provident provided training for nurses and interns in Chicago. Black patients were denied admission to white hospitals. Therefore, black physicians could not treat their patients. Williams attracted national attention in 1893 when he sewed up the lining of a human heart following a stab wound, the first open heart surgery, a procedure thought to be impossible. Hale, who co-founded the National Medical Association, the largest and oldest organization for African-American physicians, was the first African-American admitted to the American College of Surgeons. The hospital closed in bankruptcy in 1987.
During this period, most people didn't go to hospitals. People were afraid to go to hospitals, or they were too poor to pay for physician services or other services at hospitals. A doctor would come by your home if, in fact, you could afford a doctor. In fact, the history of the Visiting Nurses Association is one of sending nurses out to people who couldn't afford medical services or were too suspicious, of what went on in medical facilities. The reality of the day was, with typhoid, cholera, smallpox, and other diseases prevalent, and the death rate always too high in Chicago, there was a need for a permanent health facility, and Provident Hospital, as of 1891, started to serve that function.
And that's a fact. For these stories and more, go to BINnews.com.
A special thank you to Sony,
A proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
Hey, what's up? I'm DJ Scream for the Black Information Network in studio with Fulton County, Georgia, District Attorney, the man responsible for prosecuting the officers in the death of Rayshard Brooks, District Attorney Paul Howard. How are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great.
You're the DA. You're the District Attorney. What is your role? What are your duties so people can be clear on what you do?
Well, what the District Attorney does in Fulton County is to handle the prosecution of felony offenses. It is an office where we receive approximately 10,000 felonies a year because we receive them from all of the 13 jurisdictions in Fulton County. I have an office of 238 employees. 109 of those employees are lawyers, and we've got a budget of approximately $24 million. We have annually prosecute about 8,000 cases that are actually indicted in our office.
Absolutely. And you're seeking your 7th term?
This would be my 7th term as District Attorney.
Okay. So is it everything you dreamed it would be when you were elected in 1996? Like, did you see yourself making it to a 7th term when you went into the 1st term?
Well, I never really thought about it when I started, how long I would stay. I really thought about it in terms of getting things done.